Hello and welcome to Letters from Nowhere, a history mystery podcast where I present letters written by notable people throughout history, and it's up to you to figure out who the author is. My name is Allie, and I'm your host as we take a deep dive into the lives and emotions of some famous names. Before we get started, here are some ground rules. Rule number 1. These letters are fictional and written as I perceive the historical person. My basis for their feelings and emotions comes from the existing writings about them and their own personal words. Rule number 2. Each person I present is no longer living, so that rules out any current notable people. Rule number 3. A link to a poll will be included in each episode description to submit your guess. You will then receive an email with the correct answer to the previous letter. The following person I'm going to be presenting today is not white. As a white person, I wish to accurately portray the thoughts, feelings, and experiences of people of color. Therefore, this letter will focus on their own published writings and give voice to these individuals who have shaped the world we know today. Now presenting Season 1, Episode 5. Chains. Dear Mr. President, last time we spoke, you asked me about the story of the Great House Farm, how each and every one of my brethren longed to do errands for the farm. I thought, for your education and for the plight of my people, I would explain. The plantation of my former master was unlike any plantation in the area, the air filled with a sense of community rather than captivity. Shops crowded each other like the wooden blocks in a child's nursery, and the place felt as alive as the air I breathe. Machinery for farm upkeep was made there, including blacksmiths, weavers, and cartwrights. If a slave was selected to work at the Great House Farm, it would be considered the greatest achievement of their life. That sense of pride, that sense of agency, was something we as a people have never experienced in this country. Even then, the cage forcing my people to work as animals was still there. The only difference was that this cage was painted gold. It was either doing errands or spending countless hours in the fields under the watchful eye and whip of the overseers. If you were in my position, which one would you pick? At night, if you listen carefully, you can hear the songs of those chosen to work at the Great House Farm. The songs will go, I'm going away to the Great House Farm, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh. I could tell it was special because where I am from, my people only sing in times of turmoil and struggle. It always filled me with an unrepairable sadness, because songs like these were written for God to hear them, and possibly save us from the unrelenting and unforgivable truth of slavery. If you look closely, you can see the invisible chains holding each slave together. Every time we try to rise up, the masters yank those chains and we fall onto the hard earth. My people have the drive, motivation, and tenacity of any white person. When treated like human beings, everyone's spirits can be lifted to the clouds. I know I've started to approach you about allowing free black persons to enlist for the Union, and in this letter, I wish to express the sentiment with the utmost urgency. Let those who are oppressed fight for a world in which they are free. I am unsure what your plans were for the resolution of this war, but I can tell you that it is much more than uniting the country as one. It is much more than saving the economy. It is much more than appeasing men of the white American South. It is about the abolishment of slavery. It is about treating everyone as equals. What better to facilitate this movement than encouraging every man, black and white, to fight for it? You want to win this war, Mr. President? To win this war and create a new country, using your patriotic people is the way. I guarantee you that songs of joy will fill every gap in space on your streets.